Session 91, 1st June 2022. Session 91, 1st June 2022. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. We begin with the name of Allah, who is most gracious and merciful. Quran, the word of Allah, an elaboratory translation by ex-Brigadier Mustansar Billah. Brothers and sisters, we had finished Surah Al-Anbiya, the 21st Surah of Quran. Today we begin with the 22nd Surah, Al-Hajj, and we continue with part 17. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin with the name of Allah, who is most gracious and tremendously merciful. Ya ayyuhan nas ittaqu rabbakum inna zalzalata sa'ati shay'un azim. 1. O mankind, fear your Rabb and be dutiful to him. Surely the earthquake of the hour of judgment is a terrible thing. Surely the earthquake of the hour of judgment is a terrible thing. يَوْمَ تَرَوْنَهَا تَذْهَلُ كُلُّ مُرْضِعَةٍ عَمَّا أَرْضَعَتْ وَتَضَعُ كُلُّ ذَاتِ حَمْلَهَا وَتَرَى النَّاسَ سُكَارَىٰ وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَىٰ وَلَٰكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ شَدِيدٌ. 2. On that day you shall see that every nursing mother will forget her nursing babe, and every pregnant woman will miscarry, and you will see the people as if they are intoxicated, though they'll not be drunk. Such severe will be the torment of Allah. Such severe will be the torment of Allah. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُجَادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَيَتَّبِعُ كُلَّ شَيْطَانٍ مَرِيدٍ. 3. And there are some people who argue about Allah in ignorance and follow every rebellious shaitan, devil. And there are some people who argue about Allah in ignorance and follow every rebellious shaitan, devil. كتب عليه أنه من تولاه فأنه يذله ويهديه إلى عذاب السعير. For whom the devil it is decreed, for whom, that is the devil, it is decreed that whoever will take him as his friend, follows him, he will mislead him and drive him to the punishment of burning fire. يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في ريب من البعث فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم. It's a lengthy verse, so I'll go through the translation only. 5. O mankind, if you doubt about resurrection, then surely we first create you from dust, then from a sperm, then from a leech-like mass, then from a morsel of flesh, partly formed and partly unformed, so that we may manifest to you our power. So that we may manifest to you our power. We cause to remain in the womb whom we wish for an appointed term, and then we bring you as infants. Then we nourish you so that you may reach your age of full strength. There are some of you who die young, and some who live to their abject old age, and that they once knew, they know no more, and that they once knew, they know no more. You sometimes see the land dry and barren, but no sooner do we pour down rain upon it, than it begins to stir and swell, putting forth every kind of beautiful growth in pairs, putting forth every kind of beautiful growth in pairs. ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأنه يحيي الموتى وأنه على كل شيء قدير. Verse 6, this is because Allah is the truth, and it is He who gives life to the dead, and it is He who gives life to the dead, and it is He who is able to do all things, and it is He who is able to do all things. وإن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيها وأن الله يبعث من في القبور. 7. And this is a proof that the hour of doom is sure to come. There is no doubt about it. And that Allah will raise up those who are in the graves. And that Allah will raise up those who are in the graves. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَجْادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَلَا هُدًى وَلَا كِتَابٍ مُنِيرٍ. 8. Yet there are others among people who wrangle about Allah. Yet there are others among people who wrangle about Allah, though they neither have knowledge, nor guidance, nor an enlightening book. له في الدنيا خزي ونذيقه يوم القيامة عذاب الحريق. Verse 9, raising his neck in pride and leading others astray from path of Allah, for such persons there is a disgrace in this life and on the day of resurrection. We shall make them taste the punishment of burning fire. We shall make them taste the punishment of burning fire. ذلك بما قدمت يداك وأن الله ليس بظلام للعبيد. 10. That is what you prepared, sent forth with your own hands. That is what you prepared, sent forth with your own hands. And surely Allah is not unjust to His servants. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ طَمَعَنَّ بِهِ وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ انقلب على وجهه خسرة الدنيا والآخرة. ذلك هو الخسران المبين. 11. And among mankind is he who worships Allah, standing on the edge of faith and disbelief in a doubt. Standing on the edge of faith and disbelief in a doubt. When such a person is blessed with good fortune, he is content. But if he encounters a trial, he turns back headlong, thus losing both this world and the hereafter, which is a clear-cut loss. يَدْعُو مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَضُرُّهُ وَمَا لَا يَنفَعُهُ ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَضْلُ الْبَعِيدُ. 1-2. He calls besides Allah that which can neither harm nor help him, that is, straying far away from the right path. يَدْعُو لَمَنْ زَرُّهُ أَقْرَبُ مَنْ نَفْعِهِ لَا بِئْسَ الْمَوْلَى وَلَا بِئْسَ الْعَشِيرُ. 1-3. He calls him whose harm is more than his help. He calls him whose harm is more than his help. What an evil master and what an evil friend he chooses for help. إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنة تجري من تحتها الأنهار إن الله يفعل ما يريد. 1-4. They are calling upon him whose harm is prior to his benefit. Definitely an evil master, an evil friend. من كان يظن أن لن ينصره الله في الدنيا والآخرة فليمدد بسبب إلى السماء ثم يقطع فلينظر هل يذهبن كيده ما يغيظ. 1:5 Whoever thinks that Allah will not help him, his messenger, in this world and in the hereafter, let him stretch out a rope to the sky, if he can, and cut a hole to peep through and see for himself whether his plan can avert that which irritates him. Let him stretch out a rope to the sky, if he can, and cut a hole to peep through and see for himself whether his plan can avert that which irritates him. وَكَذَلِكَ أَنزَلْنَاهُ آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَن يُرِيدُ. 1:6 Thus we have revealed this Quran in clear verses. Thus we have revealed this Quran in clear verses, and verily Allah gives guidance to whom He wants. And verily Allah gives guidance to whom He wants. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والصابئين والنصارى والمجوس والذين أشركوا إن الله يفصل بينهم يوم القيامة إن الله على كل شيء شهيد. 1:7 Surely, as for those who are true believers, the Muslims, and those who are Jews, and the Sabians, and the Christians, and the Magians, and the ones who commit shirk, polytheists, truly Allah will judge between them on the day of resurrection, for Allah is a witness over all things. For Allah is a witness over all things. ألم تر أن الله يسجد له من في السماوات وفي الأرض والشمس والقمر والنجوم والجبال والشجر والدواب وكثير من الناس وكثير حق عليه العذاب ومن يهن الله فما له من مكرم إن الله يفعل ما يشاء. This is a verse of Sajda. After this, to close the session, please, we have to prostrate. 1:8 Do you not see how all who dwell in the heavens and the earth bow down in worship obedience to Allah, including the sun, the moon, the stars, the mountains, the trees, and a large number of people? But there are many who deserve the punishment. He who is humbled by Allah has none who can raise him to honor. Surely Allah does what He pleases. Hazan hasman اختصموا في ربهم فالذين كفروا قطعت لهم ثياب من النار يصب من فوق رؤوسهم الحميم. 1:9 These two opponents, the believers and the disbelievers, dispute with each other about their Rabb. These two opponents, the believers and the disbelievers, dispute with each other about their Rabb. As for those who disbelieved, garments of fire will be cut out for them. Boiling water will be poured down over their heads. يُسْرَ بِهِ مَا فِي بُطُونِهِمْ وَالْجُلُودِ. 2:0 Which will not only melt their skins, but also the inner parts of their bellies. This boiling water, which will not only melt their skins, but also the inner parts of their bellies. وَلَهُمْ مَقَامِعُ مِنْ حَدِيدٍ. 2:1 And for them will be rods of iron. To punish, lash them. كلما أرادوا أن يخرجوا منها من غم أعيدوا فيها وذوقوا عذاب الحريق. Double two, every time they ask to get away therefrom, every time they seek, my apologies, they seek to get away therefrom, they will be driven back therein, and all will be told, taste the punishment of burning, and all will be told, taste the punishment of burning. إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنة تجري من تحتها الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير. 2-3 As for those who have faith and do pious deeds, Allah will certainly admit them to gardens beneath which rivers flow. They shall be decked with pearls and bracelets of gold, and their garments will be of silk. وهدى إلى الطيب من القول وهدوا إلى صراط الحميد. 2-4 This is because during their life on earth they spoke the truth, the pure words that there is no God but Allah, and recitation of the Quran, and they were guided to the way of the all praiseworthy, and they were guided to the way of the all praiseworthy. إن الذين كفروا يصدون عن سبيل الله والمسجد الحرام الذي جعلناه للناس سواء العاكف فيه والباد ومن يرد فيه بالحاد بظلم نذقه من عذاب أليم. 2-5 Surely as those who disbelieved and stop others from the way of Allah and from the Masjid al-Haram at Mecca, to which we have assigned all mankind with equal rights, whether they are locals or foreigners. And whoever intends to deviate from righteousness to wrongdoing in its vicinity, we will make him taste a painful punishment. وَإِذْ بَوَّأْنَا لِإِبْرَاهِيمَ مَكَانَ الْبَيْتِ أَنْ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِي شَيْئًا وَطَهِّرْ بَيْتِيَ لِلطَّائِفِينَ وَالْعَاكِفِينَ وَالرُّكُوعِ السُّجُودِ. 2-6 And remember when we showed to Abraham, the site of the sacred house, saying, worship none besides me, and sanctify my house for those worshippers who make tawaf, that is walking counterclockwise around it, who make tawaf, that is walking counterclockwise around it, stand in prayer, bow, prostrate themselves, worship none besides me, and sanctify my house for those worshippers who make tawaf, and stand in prayer, bow, prostrate themselves. وَأَذِّنْ فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَمِيرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ. 2-7 And make a proclamation to mankind of Hajj, pilgrimage. They'll come to you on foot and on every lean camel from every distant quarter. ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام وكل منها وأطعم البائس الفقير. 2-8 So that they may witness things that are of benefit to them here, and pronounce the name of Allah over the cattle which we have provided as food for them on the appointed days. Then eat their meat themselves and feed the indigent and needy. ثم يقصدوا تفسهم وليوفوا نذورهم وليتطوفوا بالبيت العتيق. 2:9. Then let them complete their assigned duties of shaving their heads or cutting their hair and taking a bath. Fulfill their vows and go for tawaf-e-ziyarah to the ancient house. And go to tawaf-e-ziyarah to the ancient house. ذلك من يعظم حرمات الله فهو خير له عند ربه وأحلت لكم الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم فاجتنبوا الرجس من الأوثان واجتنبوا قول الزور. 3:0. This was the purpose for which Kaaba was built. And whoever honors the sacred sites of Allah, it is good for him in the sight of his Rabb. The meat of the cattle is lawful to you, except those mentioned to you. Therefore, shun the worshipping of idols and shun all false statements. And the last verse for today, حنفاء لله غير مشركين به ومن يشرك بالله فكأنما خرم السماء فتخطفه الطير أو تهوي به الريح في مكان سحيق. 3:1. Dedicate yourselves to Allah and do not commit shirk with Him. Polytheism. Do not commit shirk, polytheism with Him. For anyone who commits shirk, it is as though he had fallen from the sky. Then his body is either eaten up by birds or the wind had thrown him to some far-off place. I repeat, 3:1. Dedicate yourselves to Allah and do not commit shirk, polytheism, shareholders, etc. with Him, creating shareholders, etc. with Him. For anyone who commits shirk, it is as though he had fallen from the sky. Then his body is either eaten up by birds or the wind had thrown him to